Las Vegas, Buffalo, Old Orchard Beach, and San Francisco. These US cities have made one thing clear: their tourism industry is hurting, badly. Over the past month, they've been very vocal about just how bad it's getting. Some are even resorting to desperate offers: par exchange rates, discounts, free golf balls, just to get Canadians to come back. So far, Canadians and international tourists have been holding the line, and the pain of the US side is just getting worse. But what really caught my attention was one of the business owners in this report said he had no idea why his business is down. No idea. Are you serious? Are you just that out of touch or just that much in denial? Before I begin, today's backdrop is from my mom, and she took this photo at Burnaby Lake, just outside of Vancouver. Photo was shot on a Nikon Z8, but I have no idea what lens she used. But thanks again, Mom. Now, I usually keep this channel focused on the topic on hand, but one viewer in the comments keeps pushing her own narrative. If Ellie doesn't want to read my replies to her, then I'll say it here, because thousands of people are now listening. I don't take well with being called a hypocrite, so at the end of this video, I'm going to address this directly. Stick around in the end to see it. All right, let's get into it.
We're wondering, is it slowing? Is it okay? Our Laura Lagarde is looking into it this morning. She joins us live from the iconic Las Vegas. Welcome to Las Vegas Sign this morning, that popular tourist destination. What are the numbers showing here, Laura?
Well, as the economist says, it is this growing concern. So he is seeing that decline, but we're going to get further down into those numbers. As you said, Evan, right now we're here right by the iconic Welcome to Las Vegas sign. Tourists from all over making it their mission to come here and grab a picture. But is that number of people dwindling down? Stephen Miller, with an economist with UNLV, expresses growing concerns for the rest of the year and the start of 2026 in tourism. In a study he conducted, the year-to-date decline in visitation was 6.5%. What he's seeing is tourism numbers for international travelers drop.
There's something here that doesn't add up. In almost every report about Las Vegas, they keep throwing around the 6% drop in tourism. But what kind of tourism are they talking about? Is it domestic, international, or is it both? Because from what I've seen, with struggling businesses, discounts all over the place, and empty stretches along the strip, that drop still feels like a whole lot more than 6%. And we know international flights into Vegas are also down as well. Still, even if I take that number at face value, a 6% drop, combined with rising fees and higher prices, and fewer Canadians and international tourists crossing the border, it's more than enough to put serious pressure on Las Vegas. Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's just a 6% drop, or do you think it's actually worse?
While this popular tourist hotspot is very big for so many people, I spoke with one visitor who was in Las Vegas 25 years ago, last year, and also this year. While he says Las Vegas hasn't lost its spark, he does see a difference. And if he does, so do hotels and casinos, especially with what they're bringing in revenue-wise.
Everybody still wants to come to Las Vegas to experience Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The neon, the sounds, it's awesome.
No, it's not awesome. Not everyone wants to go experience Las Vegas. Sure, I used to be a regular. It was close to Western Canada, and for a while it was a convenient getaway. But now, I have absolutely no interest in going back. And I know I'm not the only one. A lot of you watching are probably feeling the same way. To this guy, maybe it's time for you to look outside your little bubble. Because the US isn't the dream tourist destination it once claimed to be. And the rest of the world is looking at the US right now and seeing a disaster in the making. Rising tension, unstable politics, ICE, CBP issues, and growing safety concerns. It's no surprise that more people are now looking elsewhere when they're planning a vacation. And who can blame them?
But I think that, because of just the overlying, money, maybe they're choosing different places to go to and, spend their money elsewhere where their money might be able to go a little bit further. I mean, Vegas is expensive. I mean, there's good deals, but you got to look for the deals.
Now, once again, Las Vegas is not dying, okay? It's not dying, but gaming wins is a key figure in understanding to see what that decline is like so far here in the city. Something else, for the fourth month in a row, Harry Reid actually saw a decline in flyers as well. Sending it back over to you guys in the studio.
We'll end with the glass half full situation. Through the report that I read with the economist Stephen Miller, at least the people who are coming are spending more while they're here. So we'll at least add that little element. Thank you, Alora. Appreciate it.
The denial in this report is pretty strong. They focus mainly on rising costs, and they had to throw in a line saying Vegas isn't dying. Now, this is just my opinion. But when I used to go to Vegas regularly, and the last time I went was last year, yes, prices were still high, but I still went. And I know a lot of you did too, and we keep going, even with the rising costs. And this applies to just about any tourist spot in the US. So when the report tries hard to convince us that Vegas isn't in trouble, it usually means the opposite. It's not dead, but it's clearly in a steep decline. Take a look at this clip from a tourist who filmed this firsthand.
I ain't never seen Vegas look like this on a Saturday at 1 a.m. Where's the people? Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? Like, I can't make this shit up. Holy shit, bro. This is a Saturday at 1 a.m. Where are the fucking people? Look, even on the Venetian Bridge over there. Nobody. Holy shit.
Now, if you've been to Vegas, you know the strip doesn't slow down at 1 a.m. Even at 4 in the morning, it usually still has a lot of people walking around. And I know this because I've had my fair share of nights where I stumbled out of a nightclub and had to walk back to my hotel. So when you see reports like this, trying to downplay what's really going on and blaming everything on high fees and rising costs, personally, I don't buy it. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same way. Now let's look at another video from Las Vegas, but with a slightly different tone.
Right now, some troubling signs for our local economy. Chances are you or someone you know works in the hospitality industry, but tourism numbers show a continued decline right here in Southern Nevada, and that dip in visitors is causing a big concern for many Valley workers. Las Vegas, the tourism capital of America, is facing a reality check.
I know that tourists does play a big part on the casinos, business and stuff like that.
And for people trying to break into the industry like Lexi Babil, a blackjack dealer in training, this drop in tourism is impossible to ignore. According to data from the Smith Travel Research, in June, occupancy fell 14.9%, and it got worse in July. For the week ending July 5th, Las Vegas posted the sharpest decline in the nation. Hotel occupancy fell to 66.7%. That's down from last year. A big reason, fewer international visitors, down more than 13% in June alone. How does that make?
So now this report says there's a 13% drop in international tourists. The last report casually tossed around the 6% without even bothering to break down how much of it was international. This is the problem with US media. One outlet downplays it, another mixes numbers, and none of them want to admit the real damage. So let's go with this 13%. That's international money, real money, outside money, taken straight from our Canadian and international pockets and dumped into the US economy. And now it's gone. If just 13% drop causes this much pain, and you're still jacking up resort fees, flights, hotel prices, food, you got no idea what's coming. Imagine what would happen if it hits 20%. But hey, keep calling Canadians nasty. Keep downplaying the annexation talk. Keep pretending ICE and border agents aren't a problem. Go ahead, Donald, say something stupid. We'll keep spending our money elsewhere, and you'll keep wondering why nobody's coming. Maybe we will hit that 20%. Now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit on this report, because they dive into the local job market. And not to sound harsh, but that part is not really relevant to us as Canadians. This video is about tourism, not about the local employment stats.
In a city that thrives on visitors, the numbers aren't just economic, they're personal, especially for many like Lexi.
Yeah, Vegas is a strong city, a strong state, so I just feel like, they're going to take a beating, but they'll bounce back.
Now, I also did check in with some gaming and bartending schools, and despite the drop in tourism, they say enrollment is actually going up.
What's the point of training more casino workers if there's no customers? You could have a full lineup of blackjack dealers ready to go, but if the tourists aren't showing up, it means nothing. And forget international visitors for a second. Even the locals are trying to stay away from Vegas because it's gotten way too expensive. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is the drop in international tourists hitting Vegas hardest? Or is it the rising prices, like so many of these reports keep pointing to? Now this next report out of Buffalo, you're going to laugh at how completely clueless this business owner sounds. Let's get into it.
Turning now to the state of our border crossings with a live look at the Peace Bridge tonight. It was just about a month ago when we told you the number of Canadians driving into the U.S. and back had dropped by 25%. Now we've learned it's dropped even further. According to the Canadian National Statistic Office, there's been a 33% drop in crossings between June 2024 and June of this year. So how are fewer visitors impacting communities on our side of the border? 7 News reporter Derek Hyde covers Niagara County for us and brings us to the Cataract City, where efforts are underway to get these numbers back up.
For months, we've heard the same things from business owners.
This year specifically, things seem to be a little bit slower than normal. Not sure exactly what to attribute to that to.
Things seem to be slower than normal, and I'm not sure what to attribute that to. Are you f***ing serious? You run a business right along the US-Canada border, and you still don't know why things have slowed down? I don't even know what to say at this point. It honestly sounds like this guy's been living under a rock. There's only 3 possibilities that come to my mind. 1, he's genuinely clueless about what's going on. 2, he probably doesn't realize how many Canadians probably kept his business alive. Or 3, he voted for Donald and doesn't want to admit that it's part of the fallout. And if I had to guess, it's probably number 3. But what comes next is a direct result of his country's leadership.
We spoke with Joe Hotchkiss back in June. A few weeks later, his restaurant, Power City Eatery on 3rd Street, Niagara Falls, announced its closure. Now, new Canadian data showing that June was the 6th consecutive month of year-over-year declines in Canadian travel to the U.S. by car. The Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls experiencing a 16.2% drop in cars entering the U.S. this June when compared to last year.
A 16% drop? I'm not sure if I'm buying that. I've been looking everywhere for the June numbers for the Rainbow Bridge crossing, but I haven't been able to find anything solid. But what I did find was the data for May 2025, and that showed about a 22% drop. So now they're saying that June had a huge turnaround, that Canadians suddenly started going south again, while the national average is still down to over 30%. Something doesn't add up here, and something feels off.
That trend starting in the winter during threats of tariffs and Trump's comments about making Canada a 51st state.
It heightens that sense of nationalism and creates a sense of, as though you're being insulted.
Niagara Falls Mayor Robert Restaino telling me they're doing what they can to bring our neighbors to the north back. We
are looking for ways to make sure that we can communicate directly with our Canadian neighbors about the importance and the pleasure it is to have them here.
Visit Buffalo Niagara also getting creative, posting these billboards all around the Toronto area.
When those Canadians are ready to cross the border again, just let them know we're still the city of good neighbors and we want you to come back and experience the Buffalo that you know and love.
Mayor Restaino tells me these projects are doing their job. We just need to be patient.
It'll take a little bit of time, but the more pressure we put on it and the more focus we have on it, the better our chances are of seeing those numbers turn around.
You can be as patient as you want. You can put up all the pressure you want. You can run the marketing campaigns, flood the highways with billboards, offer discounts, exchange at par, golf balls, whatever it is. But for me, and many of you watching, you're wasting your time. Canadians have already moved on. We're shopping locally, we're exploring new destinations, both here at home and around the world. And the truth is, a growing number of Canadians just want nothing to do with the US anymore, including myself. This report, and the one out of Vegas, is missing the bigger picture. They're not addressing the real issue at the heart of all of this: crossing the border and dealing with CBP, the safety concerns with ICE roaming around like a pack of wolves, and the dangerous rhetoric coming from your so-called leader. Until that changes, no amount of pressure or patience is going to bring us back. And based on the comments I've been getting, many of you have already made permanent changes to where you're going to travel and where your shopping money is going. We're now in the last half of July. Summer's closing on its final weeks in August. This was supposed to be the moment that the US cashed in on Canadian tourism, when they said that we'll come back for the summer. But we're not, because Canada, as well as our international allies, have held the line, and we're not backing down. Now back to this viewer named Ellie. She left multiple messages calling me a hypocrite, and it all started because of one of my videos earlier. I mentioned that my friends went to Palm Springs for a golf trip. I said if Trump wasn't in office, I'd probably be there too. But what I didn't clarify is that these friends actually live in the Bay Area in California. I replied to Ellie. I told her that my friends are American. And yes, like many of you, we do have friends and family in the US. But the comments didn't stop. Neither did the accusation of being a hypocrite. But what really bothered me was your tone. Like you believe you can control the choices of your friends and your family. That's not just irrational, it's a control issue. Exactly like what Gretchen pointed out. And this is something everybody needs to remember. You don't get to control what your friends, your coworker, your family, your mailman, or your grocery store cashier does. If they choose to go to the US, that's on them, and there's nothing you can do about it. Every night after work, I spend hours making videos for the community, and I've sacrificed my time with my own family to do it. Because I know our voices are now being heard now, and your comments, both supportive and critical, are being seen by thousands. So being called a hypocrite, it's not just wrong, it's insulting. So Ellie, you need to get your facts straight. And if you keep calling me a hypocrite after this, I have no problems blocking you. And to my channel members, I think it's time I brought on a few moderators. Moderators that both I and the community can trust to keep things respectful in the comments. If you're a member, keep an eye out for a post from me on this topic soon. Now, I want to apologize to everyone else for the tone of this segment, but watching somebody go out of the way, repeatedly calling me a hypocrite, it doesn't sit well with me. I know I have the support of thousands of you, but at the end of the day, I'm still human. I'm doing my best to give all of us a voice, and I appreciate every single one of you who stands with me. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to help this message get out to more people. Share it with your friends, and don't forget to tap the bell so that you're notified when the new video drops. And if you're still here, check out the other videos showing up on your screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.